Anything and everything said in this video should not be taken as financial advice. I'm simply using this as a way to self-reflect on the week and yap about my thoughts. Thank you very much.
All right, with that being said, let's get into the intro. All right, so today what we're going to talk about is macro, equities, crypto, and trades. The main data released this week was CPI on Tuesday. We have PPI on Thursday, unemployment claims, and then retail sales on Friday. And so, basically, with this week, I was looking for a continuation of the trend of a continuation of a reason for the dollar to continue going down, and us still pricing 50 basis point cuts for the end of this year. So when CPI released as expected, that was actually pretty good. So if you look on the SOFR, which basically keeps track of what the market is expecting interest rates to be by the end of the year. On the beginning of the month, we had the NFP release, which basically pushed expectations from 25 basis point cuts to 50 basis point cuts, and then from there we were kind of staying around the we overpriced 50, then we were just kind of moving around this range right here between, basically trying to see where we're going to end up at. Like, we're going to end up at 50, or are we going to retrace the whole NFP move and continue going down to 25 basis point cuts, or even higher to 75 basis point cuts. So when CPI came out as expected, that basically had a little relief in the market. At least I was honestly expecting this. I was expecting CPI to come down. I was expecting CPI to come in a little bit harder than expected. But so CPI came down, came up, and then what was interesting was the PPI move. I mean, people don't really. I mean, PPI is important because it kind of basically tracks. So PPI came in higher than expected, and not by a little bit, but literally, probably. I mean, if you expect 0.2% higher and then it comes out 0.9, and that was pretty much a shock to everybody, because nobody was really expecting that. So if we go to the SOFR real quick, so here we have PPI released, and it basically dropped it lower, and dropped it lower. And if the future data releases are kind of more in line to what PPI showed on Thursday, then there could be a chance that we retrace. I mean, it's all depending on whatever data comes out next. But I mean, I wouldn't like to see a 25 basis point cut. I wouldn't like to see a retracement down here, but we shall see. I still want to hang out around this range. So when CPI came out, this continued the trend that we've been seeing since NFP print. If I could find my little, just to make it a little easier to see what I'm talking about. So here is the current trend of it kind of continuing higher and retracing this entire move that we saw at the end of July. So CPI pushed euro higher, and then NFP again came out more than expected, so that pushed the euro lower. But I don't want to talk about the euro, I want to talk about the dollar. So, okay, let's go to dollar, and this is CPI right here. This week tricked me right here, but that's for another story. This week messed me up. But CPI release dropped the dollar, and then on Thursday we had the PPI, which pushed the dollar back up, kind of retracing Tuesday's move a little bit, but we have been retracing lower since then, which kind of just shows that, I mean, yeah, NFP came in as a little shock, but at the end of the day, NFP, we shouldn't be so determined on NFP, I mean on the PPI. So I would like to see the dollar continue to go lower from here. Okay, so here we have equities. I mean, by equities, I mean I just have the ES chart up. So we've had this huge turnover down here, and we've basically been retracing that entire move a little bit, just kind of retracing that entire move, even surpassed it, and now we're just continuing to go higher. Usually when we have thin liquidity like this, it's usually easier to trace up. but I mean the main catalyst here was the NFP print, which came out like I said at the beginning of this month, and then from here, equities have been going up higher. This green candle on Tuesday, this is we have CPI, which relieved a lot of traders and investors to, saying that hey, maybe inflation isn't so bad, and if inflation isn't so bad, then there's literally no reason to cut. Because the thing is that NFP is showing that the economy is slowing down, but the reason why the Fed doesn't want to cut is because they're scared that interest rates. I mean, they're scared that inflation is a little bit still is it's still too high right now. So seeing a not increase in expectations of um, inflation change, then that kind of cools down the market, and it's saying that okay, so we're good to cut, and we're good to cut. So let's just run it up. So ES continues higher. Then right here we have PPI, which pushed it lower, but I still believe that. I mean, we might retrace um, a little bit next week, but overall, I think that this trend should continue up, and that's basically what I'm looking for. And another one that's pretty important is the Russell 2000. Here, the Russell, I just started tracing the Russell 2000 as well because the Russell 2000 is a lot more risk on. So usually when the Russell 2000 increases, it's a lot of people are starting to kind of move their money from safe assets into more riskier assets because these are smaller companies, it's more low volatile. And last time we saw the Russell um, go higher was back in 2021. Where is it at? Yeah. So around 2021, oh no, my bad. In 2020, when the whole COVID thing and there's just a lot of money just being put into the system, we saw this huge rise in the Russell, which is basically saying that a lot of money, there's just a little bit too much money in the system, and that makes risk assets go up in price. And so we're sort of, I mean, we would like to see, I'd like to see this continuing to go higher because one thing that I, because one thing that I like is risk assets to go higher. Um, because Russell tracks. Okay, so here we have the Russell 2000 in the candles, and then we have Bitcoin on the pink line. So as you can see, when Russell goes up, Bitcoin goes up, Russell consolidates, Bitcoin consolidates, Russell goes lower, lower, and as we go higher, right here, Bitcoin has been going higher. So yeah, so I think the from what I've been saying is the Russell is a lot more correlated to Bitcoin than ES because Russell is a lot more risk on, Bitcoin is more risk on, and so it's basically the whole crypto ecosystem. Okay, so here we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a big fan of mine, or I'm a big fan of it. I don't have much of it actually. I don't actually have very little, but I have other things in crypto, so I like money moving on to the risk curve. Okay, so on the Bitcoin chart for this week, let's just talk about this week. This week we had basically it continue higher on CPI. So this is the whole CPI move as it continues higher, and then it drops in the morning during Asian session, and it continues dropping as PPI was released. And the reason why is because as PPI was released, that increases that and that just brought some fears. So maybe people were a little bit too bullish right here, and then they're like, oh shit, wait, hold up, maybe things could turn. So they started just decreasing positions. And actually, when it came to before the CPI released, I actually sold some Bitcoin just because I wanted to. I mean, I heard about hedging, so I wanted to see what hedging is all about. But that's not really hedging. That's just moving. That's just selling. But I did I did put on a sell on the Bitcoin futures, or I mean a perp. So I did yeah, but it didn't go down. So yeah, so I sold Bitcoin around here, came up, and then it's back down. So I don't think I'm gonna get in. Well, I mean I just sold some of it, so I don't think I'm gonna deploy that back into Bitcoin. I think I'm going to move on to something else that I like a lot, which is right now I'm really liking the Ethereum. Yeah. So Ethereum has been looking really good. We just, I don't know where my, I don't know where all my, do I not? Oh, so I don't have. my all my lines and stuff here. I have it all over here. So I mean, here's just some things that I have. So yeah, Ethereum has been looking really good lately. Like really good. Like I've yeah, I'm actually pretty stoked that Ethereum like not only created new highs, like it finally broke these highs right here, and which I had such a hard time getting through, and it just tap came lower, and right here, you know, we're like damn, like we're pretty much fucked. It's gonna just go down, but nope, it came up with some with some noise. Like it came out pretty loud. Like it was pretty excited to come up here, and I really like how it broke the structure. With this green candle, I mean, there's so much volume right here, a lot of liquidations that took place, but that was a really good sign, especially when we got that weekly close. I don't know, I got really bullish on Ethereum, and we were so close to making new all-time highs, but you know, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. So I'm actually pretty okay with this retracement. I'm hoping to see Ethereum to at least come down here and just continue. Oh my God, it's horrible. Can't even trace that. My God, it's really bad. I mean, yeah. So one of the things I want to see is Ethereum to come down, come down here, kind of touch this base high and continue higher. And if we continue higher, then I don't know, I'll be pretty stoked. But also, since I just got so bullish on Ethereum, I've been I've unfortunately been a lot more risk on, and I've been doing pretty stupid decisions of buying shitcoins again. So I'm buying shitcoins again. Yeah, I I have a problem. I have a problem with some shitcoins. Like I don't know what it is, but I just want to put all my money into it. Some of the shitcoins I've been looking at is first of all we have Noise. Now Noise is, I mean, you know, I was looking at it when it was down here. I didn't get in because you know I didn't think I didn't. Yeah, I mean, you know, I just didn't get in here. I didn't really like it. But as we continue higher, I'm like, you know what, this coin actually has potential. It's integrated into Farcaster. It's basically like a social tipping type of thing. And this just brought me back to the old days of 2017 when we had this coin called Redcoin, which was trying to do the same thing. It was just a little bit too early. Damn, I just dated myself. That's yeah. I've been in yeah. Damn, that was 2017. Um, but yeah. So I like this one. I've been buying around this area. I've been trying to buy at this low some more, and yeah, this the only thing that scared me as we saw this red candle is that this chart looks very similar to Bitcoin. Uh, let's let's go to Bitcoin real quick. So in terms of like it's consolidating, but each time it tries to make a new high, it ends up making a new lower. So each time it goes higher, it's always lower than the previous high. So I mean, here's we have this high, and then it went down, it pushed up, but it's lower than this one went down. So these lows are pretty consistent, but each time it pushed higher, it just couldn't continue. It just couldn't make a new high, which reminded me of Bitcoin right here, like right here around this time when it was consolidating, but each time it tried to go higher, it would always you know make a lower high. So you know just we could see this right here. So up, lower, and ended up crashing down. So one of the things I was looking for um, was for Noise to make a retracement. If it does make a retracement, I mean, I was hoping to see something. I don't even know what I was hoping to see. That's the thing. It's like I just that's just what I thought. I thought I was gonna break these lows and make it like a sharp move down and just continue higher. But I would definitely be buying under sub 0.00002. So yeah, here we are. I'm buying this higher. I like higher. It's been pushing up. It's been consolidating for a while, or at least consolidating on these lows. So I think these lows is a good base. And then from here we've had this huge spike of euphoria. This is the 200 EMA, I believe. Yep. So this is the 200 EMA. So we still are not above the 200 EMA, but just even testing it, it's just picking up liquidity, comes lower. And here is when I bought around 0.0042. and then from here it's just I just want to see, you know, it continue higher, and eventually when the time comes when more money moves into the risk curve, then we could see a big pop up, because one of the things that I like about this chart, I mean, I think this chart looks really good. Yeah, so here we are on the daily. So here we see that we've been in this range for a really long time. So a lot of accumulation around these lows. And any potential breakout, I mean, it could easily go to 0.02 to around this high. And even then, that would just be nice, but we just need a spike of volume, and it will continue higher. But yeah, I like high. I like base and a lot of the things that base is doing. I like Forecaster a lot. So this is another Forecaster coin. Noise is also like a Forecaster coin integrated into Forecaster, but it has potential to do other things as well. So I'm buying down as well, and then I'm also not so much buying, but just looking at DGen. So DGen has a very similar chart to higher, where it's just been on these lows for a while, and so any spike up, money moving back onto the risk curve, we will see a big spike up. So these are my DGen plays, DGen, higher, and noise, and then I'm probably looking at some other things as well. So, and one thing that I realized is that these coins will, the only way those coins will move up is if Ethereum continues higher. So if Ethereum continues higher, then we're going to see a lot of that money going onto those really low cap cryptos. All right, so that pretty much covers it. What happened? Oh, let's get into the. I was trying to see if I could trade CPI, and so we had CPI release right here on Tuesday, 5:30. It came higher, and then it came lower. Like it came higher, and then it dropped lower, and then right here I was looking to get in as it kind of touched this previous high. Yeah, this previous high right here. So I was thinking about putting this on where I had my entry at the top and then my stop loss at the bottom of the CPI candle. The only thing is that at that moment I just didn't I just couldn't see the risk to reward. I don't know. I think I just had, yeah, I just faded. I slipped up because I saw it and I didn't trigger it. But this is a trade I was going to put on, and this one would have actually been pretty nice. So here's a trade I did put on, and this was on Wednesday. There was really no news on Wednesday, but so because there was no news, I expected the trend to just continue moving higher, because I feel like that's the path to least resistance. So I got in on this candle because I zoomed in a little bit. So on the 5 minute, where we at? So yeah, I was looking at the 5 minute, and so I saw this retracement back to 200 EMA, and kind of it was to the top of this candle right here. So I was looking at this one. I was looking at the channel that we were in the afternoon on Tuesday. Because right here we had this breakout higher. So usually when we have a breakout, we have a point of release, and it wants to kind of like gravitates towards falling back down there. But we had a touch in the channel, and this move down, which I didn't really see a reason for this move down, and it's pretty thin liquidity, so I did think that price could easily eat up this move right here. So I got in on this mini retracement. My stop loss under this low, and it just went higher from here. So I don't know, pretty simple, just 24 pips, nothing crazy, but it's something to, it's some P&L to add into my, just to log. I like to log me a little gain here and there, or losses, mainly losses, but here we are. I think this video was really all over the place, and I should really gather my thoughts a lot more clearly, because there is a lot that I am thinking that to say, I just don't know really how to structure it, and a lot of things that I missed to say that I'm not even going to try to structure it, because by that time, for me to gather those thoughts, it's going to take some time, and then by that time, a lot more things already happened. So that would just make me late on a couple. I'll have to play catch up, and I'm not in a position to be playing catch up right now, unfortunately. But I'm just making this video. I realized that I don't know. I didn't keep as good notes as I thought throughout the week. So definitely this week I'll do my best to keep more notes and like consolidate my thoughts a little bit more, so that towards the end of the week I can make a clearer video that has more structure and actually makes sense. But yeah, so thank you for sticking along. Till next time.